Hi Tammy, how are you? I hope very fine. And for myself, I am very good. Well, studying my engineering while I learn something about electronic, sometimes practice English and many other things. Well, this video is about the project of Loader. And well, I know maybe it's a little late to send to you this information, but I didn't want to tell you again I have this, but not this. I want to tell you all complete. And well, I have been working very hard in the project. It haven't been very easy, a little bit complicated, but well, today I am pretty sure to build all complete the loader because I learned to program of PLC, how to make all the structure and boil the sensor. Actually, I have here. Sorry. Actually, I have here the prototypes of sensor. And well, I would like to show you my job in these last 3 months. Let's start. I'm going to put my screen and I will support me with many vectors. So the first thing that I want to show you is the sensor. Um, if you remember, I spoke the last time about sensors with special and very expensive filters. We are speaking about the optical sensor of barrier. Maybe it's a little similar of a presence sensor, but in this case, the optical sensor of barrier um, is too much more precise. Okay, this is because nowadays in the on the industry, the people use this sensor like a security device. So when any ray is interrupted, the sensor sends a signal to any action. Okay, in this case, to stop the machine. Okay, well, this is a LED, and it's just a date for you because the sensor that I built um, work with a LED like a transmitter and receiver. And this is great because the LED has a long life of 50,000 hours. That is to say that you can use the sensor by many years. So well, after to make a very long investigation, I tried to build the sensor for 2 months. In well, this is my proofs. And here we can see the first prototype of sensor. Okay, this first prototype worked very well, uh, like a professional, and just it need um, many improves about design, but very easy improves. Okay, in general work very well. And I did a video because I want to show you the work of sensor. And well, I'm going to put the video.
Hi Tammy. Okay, basically this is the first test with the first prototype of the optical sensor of barrier. Okay, um, I just want to clarify before to start that it it needs many improves. Okay, because still is a prototype. I wanna improve the design of box. I wanna put the connectors. I wanna make array sizes, but all that is about design. It's very easy. Okay. And now I just wanna show you um, the really important things like functions. So now sensor have two parts. The first part is a transmitter of light infrared, and the second part is a receptor of the light infrared. Okay. In this case, this my my box seller will simulate the loader of rack. Okay. In this case, the the light bulb will simulate the the alarm. Okay. And I have two products. These products will be the correct product. Okay. And these other products will be the ground product. Okay. So now the sensor have two functions. Okay. The first function is sorry. The first function is when the worker want to take out the the correct product. Okay. So in this case, the sensor will not detect his hand of worker, and the worker may to take out easily the product. Okay, this is in the good case, and this function will be just in one cubic. Okay, while all other cubics will have the second function or alarm function. That is to say that when the worker want to take out the ground product, the sensor will detect his hand of work. So the sensor will send a signal to alarm for to activate, and the worker can see that is the ground product. Okay, like this. Oh. So basically, this is the function of the sensor. And for now, that's all.
Okay, now let's speak about the loader. And well, if you remember, you called some parts of loader, but in this case, there are not more indicators, okay? There are just sensors in HQV. Also, you made a list with some questions, very important, and I'm going to answer each one while I I explain to you all the project. So you put two questions about the sensor. One of the questions is what are the dimensions of the sensor? Okay. Here you can see the dimensions of sensor, and well, the sensor will be in front of loader. Another of your questions about the sensor is how will we prevent the indicator from getting ruined? This is very easy. I am thinking that we can put a LED indicator to check very easy if it's working or not the sensor. So when the LED is on, the sensor is working well, but if the LED is off, the sensor is not working and we need to change for a new sensor. So this is a little structure of your line production when you need to put into the final packing many different products. And well, we are working just with this kind of production. And well, here I can see two kinds of mistake with the first worker and the second worker. The first kind of mistake is mistake of quantity when the worker put into the final packing more or less product of the necessary. And the second kind of mistake is when the worker confuse the product. So the proposal to solve these two kind of error is a loader. And if you remember, this is my last proposal of the loader, but I did some improves, and now this is my proposal. I just made a little modifications. So let's begin to explain the loader. And one of your questions is, what is the size of the cubby? Well, if we can see, the loader has just 9 cubes, but each cubby has a separator. Why? Well, it's very simple. It's because I want to maximize the space. That is to say that when you will have a small box, you can put the separator, and you can put even two different products in one cubby. But if you need more space because you have a big box, you can remove um, the separator and put just one box into the cubby. So this is the reason, and that each cubby has two sensors, because if you put the separator, each sensor will work separately, and if you remove the separator, and the two sensors will work at the same time, like just one sensor. The loader will have 18 lights of LED, and each light will show at the worker in a sequence which product he needs to take out. So each light will work exactly like a sensors. And that is to say that when the separator is into the cubby, the light's going to work separately. But if you remove the separator, the two lights of cubby going to work together or at the same time. The loader will have four wheels of high resistance. Will have four arms that that works like a guides and support force. We have a car jack that will raise the height of loader even 1 ft, and finally a cabinet to put the computer of loader, that is to say the PLC. Here we have the panel of control or interface machinement, and here we can program the sequence of loader, and also we can see the alarm to the mistakes. The loader has a ergonomic design because the height can be changed, so it can use a short or tall person. Another of your questions is, what is the weight approx of loader? And well, here I need to say something very important. Okay, the weight of loader is very light, especially into the down part here, and because the 90% of the structure is on top, and if we fill the loader on top, we will have very much weight, and it's very probably fall the loader. So to solve that situation, we need to put a against weight in the bottom. I am thinking in a concrete slab of 2 inches of thick. And with this concrete slab never will fall the loader. In another way, we will have to make a preparation on each production line to fix each time the loader and also never will fall. But I think it's not very good idea for now because you are changing the structure of your production line each time that you have to do a new production. Um, and I think you reduces your possibilities. So for now, I just will put a concrete slab. And here in the picture, you can see also the weight total of loader and the capacity of loader. Okay. Another of your questions is what will be the setup time for 9 products to insert? Well, I'm gonna be sincere, and I don't know, but basically the time to insert each product should not be different that you now have. This is because basically it's the same action for the worker. Uh, Take the product of the pallet and insert behind the loader. And well, here we have an example of the loader uh, with product. And here we can see a configuration mixed. For example, in the first cubby, the loader has two different products with a separator. And for example, in the second cubby, just there are one big box with a product, and there are not a separator. Also, we can see the red bars that in this case will be simulate the ray infrared. The sequence and configuration of loader will be programmed through the control panel before to start the line production. In this case, there are 12 products on loader. And well, suppose that we have the next sequence. And when you start the line production, all cubes except one will have the function alarm. So when the worker want to take out the grown product, the sensor will send a signal to alarm. But we have one cubie with the function of correct product, and the worker may take out easily the product. So the worker take out the product and change the sequence. Now we have the two products available to take out. And like this with each cubie. Okay, change the sequence, take the product, change the sequence, take the product, and well, basically this is the work of sensor with the loader and with the PLC. And at the end we have this picture, and your line production will see like this. Okay, this is the size So now we have the last three questions, and well, one of them is how will it identify what to put into each cubie? Well, basically the problem of mistake with the second worker is the same with the first worker because he can to get a mistake of quantity and mistake of confuse. But in this case, the frequency of occurrence is less than the second worker. It's because I am thinking just put a system with a visual aid like this. In this case, I am using the colors, different colors and different numbers. We can know what to put in each copy. And now another of your question is at what point will we know that there is an error? Well, if we achieve the remove with the last tools the confusion error, we just have possibilities of to do an error of quantity. And in this case, we may identify the error at the end of the line with the third worker and base code. So if the box weight more or less of specifications, the box will be separate without the the box will be separate. And the next step is to check why weight more or less and going to see the last question that is about the cost and how much will cost the the loader. And well, if you remember, the last time Mexican people give us some cost about the PLC, very expensive. This is an example. And for example, here I have another cost of PLC and sensors, some things to PLC, and the cost is well here is in Mexican money, but in dollars is around 3,000. But they was two engineers and they wanted $25 by hour. At the end, it's much more expensive. And I remember around $7,000, and it's too much for a device in the line production. And here I have the cost of sensors. 18 sensors is around in Canadian dollars $2,500. And well, at the end, here we have the real cost of loader. But first, I'll show you. Here we have two lists with the cost of sensor. One is in Mexican money because here I made the prototype. I need it. But in Canada, uh, the cost will be this, okay, of 18 sensors. Is in the sensors 80% lowest than if we buy the sensors. Here we can see the cost of PLC. In this case, is just a cost in Mexican money, because the idea is buy here the PLC and bring with me to Canada. And or the other option is try to find uh, try to find a place in Montreal where I can buy the PLC and the components. And well, at the end here we have a big list with the cost of PLC, sensors, connectors, and many things to build the loader, like a wheels and I don't know many things. All each material to build the loader, and at the end we have this this cost. It's around $2,000. I say around because each material was finding online uh, in stores closer to Point Clear. So maybe the cost can be changed a little bit, but it's minimum the difference. Well, this is the cost. And I remember I told you the last time that maybe the cost will be around $1,000. I'm apologize for that, and maybe should not give you the cost before to check all materials. But well, this is the cost, and this is very important because this is the cost just for the materials. And well, as I said you the last time, um, I don't want money to build the loader, and I have two reasons very important. Well, the first reason is because uh, well, you are a very good person, and you made me the last time a big favor. You gave me a big opportunity, and now I just wanna return the favor. Okay, and really I want uh, to build the loader. It's like a hobby. And the second um, reason is because it's very good for you and for me. For you because you save money, and for me because uh, I I will have a very good curriculum in Mexico. So it's just because I don't want money for to build the loader, but at the same time, well, I need some money to living. I wanna speak about this at the end of the video because I have a little proposal for you. And well, so basically this is the improves and news about the loader. I remember I told you in December um, that I could go to Canada to build the loader in April. And well, really I can't. I am available. Actually, and the next week is the last in my school period, and I will have 6 week available around. That is to say, since April 5 at May 20 approx. Well, we can take some days after 20, and I just need around 3 weeks to build the loader. So I don't know if you have possibilities or if you still want to build the loader. Really, basically, this is just a proposal. You have the decision, and well, if you say yes, I have a little proposal for you and a little plan. And well, is work with you 5 weeks and in Protam, wherever you want, maybe in the line production, and the first 3 weeks work with the loader after half day. Before half day, I work with you in the line production, and the last 2 weeks will be just for the tiles and make a real proof with the loader, and I can work the complete day in the line production. So basically this is my proposal. And well, I will wait your answer. I hope you keep well, and well, regards to everybody, and see you, Tammy.